Imagine this: the sun has just set. The world around you goes black. Not the soft darkness of a dimmed bedroom, but total, absolute, animal darkness. The kind where you cannot see your own hand inches from your face. You have no fire. No torch. No light of any kind. And you can hear things moving in the dark. This was reality for 99% of human existence. For nearly 1,000,000 years, our ancestors had fire. But for millions of years before that, they didn't. So what did they do when the sun went down? The answer is stranger, scarier, and more profound than you might think. Before fire, your ancestors were not the dominant species on this planet. They were prey. At night, every predator within miles, leopards, hyenas, giant eagles, saber-toothed cats, had an advantage your ancestors did not. Night vision. Keen hearing. Instinct. So your ancestors did the only thing they could. They climbed. The earliest hominins, our pre-human ancestors, spent their nights in trees. Not in cozy treehouses, but on crude platforms of woven branches, constructed high in the canopy, just out of reach of the predators that stalked the forest floor. Archaeologists have found evidence of these sleeping platforms dating back nearly 2,000,000 years. At sites in Kenya and Ethiopia, there are circular arrangements of branches and leaves, not random debris, but deliberately constructed sleeping nests. Wedged into the forks of ancient trees. Think about what this meant. Every single evening, for millions of years, your ancestors performed the same ritual. Find the right tree, climb to a specific height, weave branches into a stable platform, and lie down, staring up at the stars, absolutely silent, hoping nothing found them in the dark. They couldn't cough. They couldn't cry. They couldn't call out for help. One sound, and the night would swallow them. This is where a crucial part of the human brain was forged. Modern neuroscientists believe that the part of your brain responsible for hypervigilance, that constant low-grade scanning of your environment for danger, was wired during this period. Your amygdala, the fear center of your brain, is twice as active at night as it is during the day. Not because you chose it. Because your ancestors who weren't vigilant at night didn't survive to have children. That inexplicable anxiety you feel when you walk alone in the dark. It's 2,000,000 years old. Then, around 1,000,000 years ago, something changed. At Wonderwork Cave in South Africa, one of the most important archaeological sites on Earth, scientists found the earliest definitive evidence of controlled fire. Ash, charred bone, burned plant material, all layered together in patterns that could only come from a hearth, tended by hands. This was the single greatest pivot in human history. Fire didn't just keep our ancestors warm. Fire restructured time itself. For the first time, darkness was no longer a prison. With fire, your ancestors gained 3 to 4 hours of usable time every single night. Time to talk. Time to plan. Time to tell stories. Time to teach. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner studied the Juhoansi Bushmen of Namibia, one of the last living hunter-gatherer cultures. She recorded hours of their conversations during the day versus at night around the fire. The difference was remarkable. During the day, 80% of conversations were about practical matters, food, water, tools, gossip. But at night, around the fire, the pattern flipped. 80% of conversations became stories. Myths. Legends. Tales of ancestors. Singing. Dancing. Jokes. The fire didn't just light the darkness. It lit the human imagination. Wiesner argues that this nighttime storytelling was the birthplace of human culture as we know it. It's where language deepened, where social bonds strengthened, where religion, art, and philosophy first flickered to life. Not in the daytime, but in the orange glow of the first fire. The campfire was the original university, the original church, the original theater. And it only existed because someone, 1,000,000 years ago, decided to bring the sun inside the cave. Today, you don't sit around fires. You sit around screens. You have more light at 10 p.m. than your ancestors had in a lifetime. And your brain, still wired for that ancient fire circle, doesn't know what to do with it. Your cortisol levels stay elevated past midnight. Your melatonin production is suppressed by blue light. Your sleep is fragmented, shallow, and haunted by notifications. We traded the campfire for the smartphone. And we didn't realize they were the same thing, that both of them are light sources, demanding our attention, shaping our minds. But one of them connects you to your tribe. The other connects you to an algorithm. So here's what the research suggests. When you feel that primal urge to stare at a screen before bed, to scroll, to watch, to consume, your brain isn't craving information. It's craving the fire. It's craving the warmth, the glow, the presence of other faces illuminated by a shared light. It's craving the ancient campfire circle where your ancestors gathered for 1,000,000 years. And no app, no video, no feed can give you that. Next time you find yourself alone in the dark, try something. Light a candle. Or just sit in the darkness for 10 minutes, no phone, no TV, no noise. Listen to the silence. That silence isn't empty. It's full. Full of 1,000,000 years of ancestors who sat exactly where you're sitting, staring at the same stars, wondering the same things. Your ancestors didn't fear the dark. They survived it. They shaped it. They filled it with stories so powerful that you're still telling them today. The fire is gone. But the storyteller remains.